All right, fair use, fair use. It's your brother Wab Rum. You're back with another lesson, Lord willing, to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Waha, Rakak Kadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. You see on the highways and byways prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by their faith. So got another lesson I want to bring out, like I said, through the spirit of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So like, as everyone should know, that Babylon is in a time of war. As they switched the name from the Department of Defense and told you it's a time of war, man. And see, everything is about war. You think, well, them shutting down the government, that's not about war? Yeah, it's war on the people, man. Them having the alphabet community, not alphabet community, but the alphabet gangs go into these different communities and take the northern tribe, that's war, man. Everything is about war now. And at time of mirth, the time of peace is over. Let's start here. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 8, it says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Now, we can, like I said, we can clearly see that we're in a time of war. When they switch the Department of Defense to the Department of War, there should have been a clear indication of anyone that what time we in, man. Now check this out. This is what he said the other day.
Today, at my direction, we are establishing the Wartime Production Unit, or WPU, at the Department of War. This new unit has been redesigned from the existing Joint Production Acceleration Cell and will focus on transforming how we accelerate the delivery of critical capabilities to our warfighters.
So he wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't time for war, man. We just read the scripture, and we can see clear as day that this man is talking about war. They're getting prepared to accelerate the war fighting equipment, man. Now check out DT.
To do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about, and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities. I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. These are
Now, they're telling you, man, they better go in guns a-blazing. And he's not saying anything about the Sudan over in Sudan, man. He cares less about the people. That's just a war tactic, man. They use the same war tactic when they went into Iraq. They use the same thing to go into Syria. They use this propaganda to make the people believe what their mission is a true righteous mission, to go into these other nations. A lot of these nations are most of the nations are way weaker than them. And they see that they have an easy win, man. And see, Esau has always been the war fighter of the earth, I would say. Because all he's established, everything is on war, man. Every kingdom he's ruled, he's been at war in it. And he's going to go into it, man, from Rome to Greece to Babylon the Great. So we know that this man is the Edomites, man, according to the scriptures.
A civilization. Show me one. Show me a European civilization. Rome was not a civilization. Greece was not a civilization. You don't know a day in the history of Greece where there wasn't a war. You don't know a day in the history of Rome where there wasn't a war. Those are not civilizations. Those are war culture. They're not building anything. They're stealing from other people, borrowing from other people, and still carrying on this anti-human, anti-nature behavior of stealing to conquer and appropriate something that belonged to someone else that you could have gotten by just shaking a hand and making a deal.
Why are white people so intimidated and threatened by black men, despite their claims that black men are inferior to them and incapable of the most basic tasks?
Well, there's an easy answer to that question. No black men are inferior. Are superior to them. Put us in any playing field, be it physics or football, and we will win. Give us the same opportunities, and we will win. Because we come from a history of not trying to destroy and dominate the world, and you come from a history of trying to destroy and dominate the world. And that has become the culture of the white community.
And that's what he's done. He's tried to fight every country for his own greed. And the Israelites have never been like that, man. And to the point he's going to fight against those that was at peace with him. Now let me go right back. Let me look this up real quick. I don't want to make the lesson long because I know if I make it long, then a lot of people won't watch it. Let me just get real quick. How long has and I looked this up before. Look at this right here. It says, by one account, the United States has been at war at some time in 93.5% of the counted years between look at that shit, almost 100% between 1775 to 2008. And he's still at war now. It says, has the U.S. really been at war 222 years out of 239 years since? I ain't gonna click on it, but you see, this man been at war basically 93% of the time since Babylon the Great was established in 1770, 75, 76. So this man has always been at war, and that's what his blessing was, to go through and conquer the earth, man. Which is to the point now that he's going to be utterly annihilated, and his kingdoms that he ruled in the earth is going to be taken away, man. No history remaining of it. As you see, Putin orders proposal for possible resuming nuclear weapons nuclear weapons testing.
And turned to glass when the U.S. tested the world's first nuclear bomb in 1945. And now President Trump, for the second time in 2 weeks, said that he wants to do it again. Yesterday, saying, I've instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons. President Putin, that same day, had asked his advisors for proposals to restart testing too. Russia is believed to have the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world, with more than 5,000 warheads, with the U.S. believed to be just a few hundred fewer. A top Japan expert that I spoke to, Narushige Mishita at the Atlantic Council, told me that if Putin did detonate a bomb in some kind of future reality, it might be to win the war in Ukraine. And with an explosion over the Black Sea shipping route to coerce Ukraine to surrender. For China, he says the flashpoint would likely be Taiwan and an invasion of the democratic island. He said President Xi Jinping could detonate a bomb in the sky near Japan's southern island chain of Okinawa, which is also where about 30,000 U.S. service members are stationed, and to scare, what he said, Tokyo into submission. Now, Russia has not tested its weapons since the last days of the Soviet Union back in 1990, but it is testing platforms for delivery. Just last week, with a nuclear-powered torpedo and a new type of cruise missile. The U.S. did respond just yesterday, launching a nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile, a Minuteman III, that can reach almost anywhere on Earth.
So this end, Esau's end, will be with nuclear destruction, because the other nations that he's puffing up against has the same might or more powerful than he is. And then the nations that have the most nuclear weapons are teaming up to come against him. Now, if you can't see that this man is at his end, then I don't know what else to tell you, because he's puffing up against the nations that have nuclear might and nuclear power to come against him. Now, we know the Lord's determination is to destroy Babylon the Great. And you're seeing that this man is being led into a snare, a trap that he can't get himself out of. No prideful speech, no prideful talks is going to get Esau out of the war that the Lord is going to bring upon him.
Beijing has issued a blunt warning to Washington after U.S. officials threatened a gun-blazing invasion of Nigeria. China's foreign ministry condemned the rhetoric, calling any attempt to force regime change in the West African nation reckless and illegal. The message comes as America. Beijing has issued a blunt warning to Washington after U.S. officials threatened a gun-blazing invasion of Nigeria. China's foreign ministry condemned the rhetoric, calling any attempt to force regime change in the West African nation reckless and illegal.
I don't know what's up with that guy. But you see, every turn Esau is at, he has another nation that is against him, right at his toes, man, right at his feet, right behind him. In other words, man, I didn't say right at his feet, but right behind him. Everywhere he turns, somebody right behind him. One of these enemy nations to him. Now, we're not just saying this because we're just saying it just because, we just hate Esau. And no, man, this is biblical prophecy, which we do hate what the Lord hates. But you know what I mean, man. This is all being seen and can't be denied. There's a lot of Christians that say, oh, they wouldn't happen. They wouldn't do that here. They wouldn't attack a Babylon the Great. This is what the Lord determination for Babylon the Great is, man. The point I'm making is that this can't be denied that the Lord is going to bring war to Esau because he's ruled the earth in bloodshed. Now check this out. This ain't gonna really say nothing. As you see, it says Russia deploys troops, tanks, warships, and advanced defense systems to Venezuela, marking its strongest military presence ever in Latin America. So you must believe that the Russians are bringing the bear is bringing weapons down to the South America, man, to be surrounding Babylon the Great. Now, this is showing you that the Lord is moving the enemy nations against him at every turn, man. Every turn. Like you just seen, as soon as they talk about, DT said they're going to go into Nigeria, guns blazing. What China say? They're going to be basically right there to denounce any move that is being made against that nation, man. And now Russia, just like he said he was going to go down into Venezuela and overthrow Maduro. Now you see Russia posting up down in Latin America. So you see it, man. The world is ready for war. It's a time of war, man. It's a time of war. And we can see it, man, plain as day. We're in those times, man. And there's no changing it. And to prove the point that Esau blessing was war weapons of war. He was blessed with the sword, man. He was blessed with weapons of war. And it was ultimately to destroy his own self, man. This is Genesis 27. I'm going to drop down into 37. It says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. And that's Jacob. It says, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. So in the kingdom of heaven, Esau was going to be servant, just like all the heathen nations are going to be servants to the children of Israel, man, the descendants of Jacob. It says, and with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. See, he knew that he will be a servant forever in the kingdom of heaven under his brother Jacob. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shall thou live. See that? By thy sword shall thou live. So he was blessed with weapons of war. The technology of missiles, ICBMs, war planes, war tanks. This is his blessing, man. He was blessed with the sword. And we know what the modern day sword is, man. These guns and these different missiles, man. This was his blessing, man. War, fighting equipment, man. And by the sword shall thou live. See that? And thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now, we know that Esau has the best of everything in his kingdom, and we're in Esau's kingdom. And it was prophesied for him to have the fatness of the earth, man, the best of everything in his kingdom. But when he goes down, he has to serve his brother. New Living Translation, it says, you will live by your sword. See that? How Esau lives, man. He goes in these other nations, rape, rob, and murder them with the gun. And that's how he lives, man. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. See that? He will have a time to rule with a sword. And then after that, you will have to serve your brother, the blessing that was given to your brother Jacob. It says, but when you decide to break free, you will shake his yoke from off your neck. And that happened after the 1,000 years that he was in servitude during the Dark Ages, man. Good News Translation, it says, you will live by your sword, but be your brother's slave. I mean, how can you get around that? So his end will be him in slavery after he has a short period of time to rule by the sword. He will be his brother's slave. And that's what we continue to tell our people, man. Wake up to this truth, man. There's so many scriptures going into that. That Esau will rule by the sword, these weapons of war, and after he's taken down with judgment, he will be his brother's slave, man. You will live by your sword, but be your brother's slave. Yet when you rebel, you will break away from his control. And he had broke away from his control, and now he's in his rulership now. So you're seeing Esau in his kingdom in the final days or seconds or minutes, however you want to look at it, in his rulership, man. He's ruled the earth with an iron fist, with a sword that he was blessed with. And now that Lord is going to take his blessing away from him because his time is up, man. This is Psalms 55 and verse 21. Because Esau, the so-called white man don't know that his days are already been determined. This is Psalm 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And that's the spirit of Esau, man. He acts like he likes Jake. He'll tell you you're good, you're a good guy and all these different things. But in the back of his mind, he's telling you, he pretty much saying in his mind, he hates you, man. And that's his spirit. He's always been in him, man. That's the spirit he's always had in him. No matter how much you like him or not, man. He acts cool with you 1 minute, then the next minute he has his gun pointed at your back, man. As soon as you turn around, he has a gun at in your back, man. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. See, this man, he rules with his weapon, man. And his mouth is a weapon as well, man. That's why they use DT to go against you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Because the hatred he has to show towards you, because you're finna get the kingdom of heaven. So they put him in office, man. And it's a time that I've never seen so much racism and hatred towards you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man, than we see now in the end of Esau's world. This is Psalm 28 and verse 1, and this is a Psalm of David. It says, unto thee will I cry, O Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, my rock, be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. So if the Lord wasn't with us, man, we'll be wicked and be punished and destroyed and never receive our kingdom. But the Lord has blessed us to understand that we are the children of Israel and to repent. And that's only for the elect. Hear the voice of my supplication when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked. And that's what we pray, man. Continue to stay in this faith, man, because a lot of our people are going to be drawn away with the wicked because they don't see any pleasure or anything good in repenting and returning to the Lord, man. Call on your true power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. See that? They speak peace. And we know that mischief is in their hearts, man. That's why, as we just read in Psalm 55, their voice is softened in oil, softened in butter. Roughly paraphrase, you can go back and read it. But war is in their heart, man. This is the same thing. This is in their mind, man. This is how they think. This is how they believe. Man, if you go on X, man, you'll see so many hatred posts about blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. It's flooded with the hatred that they have towards you. And I'm not making this up, man. You can go on there for yourself, man, because they showing that hatred, man. And the Lord is pulling that spirit out of them. I don't know if y'all seen the post where they had a Nazi T-shirt on Walmart's website. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Right here. As you see, oh hell no, man exposes Walmart for allegedly selling a pro-Nazi T-shirt. See that? A pro-Nazi shirt on their website. And you see what it is. A Nazi salute over the I guess, I forgot what they call that shit, power symbol or whatever, so-called blacks. People throw up the fist. This is what they show. This is how they're showing you the hatred they have towards you, man. Which neo-Nazi really doesn't mean nothing to Jake, but that we know of off the top. Off the top, you can Google something and get some information on it. I haven't, so I can't speak too much on it. But I know the Nazi was they hate Jake. So I ain't gonna say they don't. Ain't nothing to get nothing that means anything against us, but it truly does, man. I know that the Big H, they hated us just as well as the small hats, the small caps do as well, in all these other nations, man. But they are. I ain't gonna get into the neo-Nazi shit, but you see that they're showing their hatred towards you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Like I say, it really don't mean nothing in the whole scheme of things because it has no power over us, man. We know that we are the children of Israel, man. And that can't be denied. We are the most powerful people on the face of the earth, man. And the Lord is soon to show that. But we have to continue to come to the Lord and continue to stay in His word, man. Verse 5, it says, verse 4, Slakia, it says, give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the works of their hands. Render to them their desert. Their desert. Now, we know that Esau has a great judgment coming to him. And this is what we're bringing out through the Spirit of the Lord, man. The Lord is setting them up for a great fall. NLT, it says, give them the punishment they so richly deserve. And that's what we constantly pray for. He says, measure it out in proportion to their wickedness. Whew. Pay them back for all their evil deeds. Give them a taste of what they have done to others. Woo! See that? So Esau hated, didn't hate blood. So the Lord is going to make sure blood pursues him, man. And that's what you're seeing these other nations build it up everywhere he goes. They there. Every turn he makes, they're there. So you're seeing the Lord is preparing him unto blood. Good News Translation, it says, punish them for what they have done. For the evil they have committed, punish them for all their deeds. Give them what they deserve. Whew. And that's what's going to happen, man. Now, like I said, he didn't hate blood, and blood is going to pursue him, man. Blood is finna pursue him. Every turn he makes, the Lord is going to have judgment at his door, man. And that's going to be with the sword that he was blessed with. And that's what these other nations possess now. The sword, this as well as Esau. And I'm speaking of the Moabites, and you know, all these other, the Elamites, all these other nations have the sword that Esau has. And that goes to show you it's all spiritual, because that was his blessing. And the Lord is going to take him down with his own blessing. So the Lord is, man, the Lord is amazing, man. How the way he works things out. This is Psalm 37 and verse 12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. See that? The Lord is laughing at Esau, because what he thinks he's doing to us and setting up all this stuff to come against the children of Israel, the Lord sees that his day is coming. That he's not going to get away with the wickedness that he's done. He says the wicked have drawn out the sword. See that? They're drawing out their blessing, man. And have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. And to say, and to slay such as be an upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart. See that? That same blessing is going to be used against him, man. That sword is going to enter into his own heart. What he was so prideful of having, the NRA and all these different military contracts and weapons that they sell and pridefully say it's the best in the world, it's gonna be to their fall, man, to their destruction. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. See that weapon that he had is gonna be broken. That power is gonna be broken, man. The military might is finna be broken. That's heavy, man. Because he's going to be taken down by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's going to use other nations to bring him down with his own sword, man. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken. See that? The arms of the wicked shall be broken. That power he had, those weapons he's put together, man. All these different supersonic and hypersonic missiles and nitrogen bombs and laser weapons. All this is his blessing, man. And the Lord is going to break Esau's power. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh Shem Yahushua upholdeth the righteous. And that's what we looking for, man. The righteous. And that's what we seek to be, the righteous. Because we know that the Lord is finna bring Esau down, man. It says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil times. See that? The evil times we in are now. The time of Jacob's trouble. The time of war. It says, and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. See that? In the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. And that's the elect. So that's why we continue to push out to our people the truth. Because to be a part of the elect, the Lord is going to have mercy on you, man. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke, shall they consume away. Ooh, see that? So the Lord is fattening them up, man. Puffing them up with pride. So when the judgment comes, there won't be no escape. They sitting fat, thinking nothing is going to happen, and their power is never going to be taken away. So the Lord has got him in a hell of a snare. And we can see it, man. Esau don't see what's behind door number 3, but we do. Or you can look at door number 7, because that's completion. That door he's opening is going to be the complete end of his rulership and his power. This is Psalms 140 and verse 1. It says, deliver me, O Yahweh Shem Yahushua, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischief in his heart. It's like in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. See that? All this, that's all they do, man. Because when they bring these, like the jab, that was a war, man. That was a bioweapon that they used against the people. And I'm speaking of our people because that's who matters, man. So there was a bio weapon that was used against you, man. That's war, man. You're truly in a time of war. And if you don't understand, man, we'll see you in the kingdom, man, after death by pain, man. Because Esau is going to move against us. And he's not going to sugarcoat. He's not going to make it pleasing to you. Where you would think, well, he wouldn't do that to us. He's going to show his horns and he's going to come against the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. And that's why we're trying to bless you with this truth, as we have been blessed with the truth, to wake up and see this man for who he really is, because he's ultimately going to make war against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. And that's going to be truly the end of Esau's existence of power, or you will look at it as being in power. He's going to be through, man. He's done. This is Revelation 19 and verse 11. It says, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness doeth judge and make war." And that's the Lord coming to make war against Esau. As Esau had made war against everyone on the planet, the Lord is coming back to make war against him. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and and his name is called the Word of Power. See, let me give one example. What the Lord said. They said he's going to be his vesture is going to be dipped in blood. What it say? His vesture shall be dipped in blood. Let me get this real quick, and I'll go right back, because Isaiah prophesied the Lord will come back to fight against Esau. This is Isaiah 63 and verse 1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and I will trample them in my fury, and their blood," see that? "And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. And I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come." And we're entering in that time, man. The Lord returning and putting judgment upon Esau, man. Putting his wrath upon Esau, man. That great fury that he's speaking about, man. And that was the Lord coming back to bring judgment on Esau, man. Let me get back to it, man. Revelations 19 and verse 13 again, it says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. We just read about that in Isaiah 63. Him coming to stomp out the wine, to stomp out the grapes, symbolizing Esau military might, and Esau, the rulers. And his name was called the Word of Power. And let me slow down. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. And it's talking about the angels that's coming back, the thousands of heaven coming back with Yahushua, clothed with fine linen, white and clean. Talking about the chariots. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of his wrath, the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty. We just read that in Isaiah 63 verse 1. It says, and he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And see, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is coming back to conquer, man, to take Esau down, man, to take the kingdom. Dropping down to verse 19, it says, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse. We just read about the white horse. This is the Lord sitting on the white horse, man. It says, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies. See that? So they're gonna fight against the Lord. They're gonna have the military might to fight the Lord, man, and get destroyed utterly, man. It says, against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And you see who the Lord say. It says white and clean, the army that's coming with the Lord, man. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming back to make war with Esau, man. And Esau is going to make war against the Lord, man. To the point he's going to fight against the Lord, man, and his angels, man. This is Revelation 17 or 12 and verse 7. And it says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not. See that? Esau is going to make war against Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the angels. And you see the archangel Michael is going to be amongst the Yahushua and the angels as well, man, coming back to fight against Esau, man. It says, and he prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. See, in rulership, he is in his heaven right now. Esau is in his heaven. So he's going to be found no more in power, no more in rulership. And a great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole earth, the whole world. See that? He deceived the whole world, man. And that's what's happening right now, man. But you seeing that veil is being taken away, man, from the people's eyes, man. None of these nations are looking at Esau as the power of the earth anymore. It says, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. See that? He's going to be destroyed, man, and taken out of rulership and power. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our Lord and our power. And see, this is what's happening, man. When Esau is taken down, then our Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, will have his kingdom. And we will be joint heirs with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brother is cast down. And Esau is our accuser, man. And he's finna soon be cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. So Esau is finished, man. He is finished, man. He has no clue that the last seconds of his kingdom will be brutal, and I can't even put it in words, man, how bad the Lord is going to judge it, man. And they that overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. And that's the elect, man. We know the life that we have coming to us is going to be way better than what we can imagine here in Babylon the Great. And I just want to hit this real quick in 2 Ezra 13, man, because the Lord is preparing to fight against Esau. See, Esau thinks he's preparing to fight against the Lord. And the Lord is just going to let him, I guess, I don't know how Esau even think, man. How he's even going to get this mindset to even come against the Lord in his mind, man. That's pride, man. That's pride for you. This is 2 Ezra 13. You should read the whole thing, but I'm going to just hit the points just for time's sake. It says, and after, let me see right here. It says, but I would have seen the region. Let me go one more time. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had, this is Ezra's explaining how Yahushua cherry came out of nowhere for the most part. It says, but I held him, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven. And I could not. So Ezra is saying, man, the cherry was so big, I couldn't even see where it came from. It was humongous. He basically just making you understand that the cherry that he had coming was huge, man. It came from somewhere that he couldn't describe on earth. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. See, they're going to be terrified when the Lord come back with those angelical powers, man, and the angels of the Lord, man. He says, and yet durst fight. See, they're gonna continue to try to fight the Lord, even though they're coming with the powers of heaven, man. That all these chariots is gonna be in the heavens wreaking havoc, man. But the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to continue to fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up hand, nor held sword, nor any instruments of war. And this is the Lord telling you, he's not going to have any instruments of war, man. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he casted out sparks and tempests. That's a concentrated fire that's going to be coming out of those chariots, man. And he's not going to have these modern day missiles and guns and swords that Esau has. He's going to have angelical power that's going to be more 10 times the technology that Esau possesses, man. And you can read on. I'm going to end it there. Oh, I'm going to read 11. I got to read 11. And it says, and they were all mixed together in the blast of fire and the flaming breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. See that it's going to be the concentrated fire going to be hitting them that's prepared to fight against the Lord, man. These armies of the earth. He says, and burn them up, every one. See that it's going to burn them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, none was to be perceived. Ooh. But only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw it, I was afraid. Oh my God. So Ezra said he's seen the judgment that the Lord was bringing on these armies of the earth. And he was afraid the way the Lord was judging them with that smoke, with that fire coming out of them chariots, man. So Lord, when was that if I'm in it there? Shalom, shalom.